Hello, my name is Tyler, and I have a problem. Recently, I started bragging about my newfound self-restraint, as I hadn't bought a car in over 3 months. Unfortunately, I've completely fallen off the wagon again, hard after stopping at a dealer's auction last week. And this 2005 BMW 745i is the first bad decision I've made in a series of bad decisions recently. The latest addition to the Hoopty fleet certainly isn't the cheapest BMW 7 Series in the USA, nor is it celebrated. Rather, it's known by many as the worst BMW ever sold in the United States. This car came with its original window sticker, touting a $75,000 MSRP. 12 years later, I bought it at the very bottom of its depreciation curve, with 134,000 miles for only $3,400. Why did I buy it? Beats me. I mean, BMW fans hate it, the entire car enthusiast community hates it, and given how terrible these cars are to maintain, reselling it to a non-car guy as a daily driver would be about as ethical as pushing him down the stairs. So why is this car so hated? It all starts with first impressions, and unveiling the dramatic redesign of the beloved 7 Series was the automotive equivalent of Britney Spears shaving her head. Everyone thought BMW had lost their mind, starting with the design. This car was the first iteration of lead designer Chris Bangle's efforts to completely shake things up at BMW. Before, changes with each generation were subtle and uniform to the heritage of the brand. When Bangle unveiled this murderous rampage to the BMW's heritage, well, it didn't go over very well. Bangle is quoted in a Motor Trend article back in the day as saying, "A leader is someone who takes you where you don't want to go." And he did that. Initial sales were good, and the car, while looking blobby and awkward, really wasn't that horrible looking from the front. It's when you turn around and start walking towards the back. Oh, the back is when things get really bad. Whew. Oh, Lordy. Okay. There we go. When you take it all in, it really looks like a whale just died and beached itself right here in front of my garage. One clever automotive journalist reviewing the car back when it was new described his time with the 7 Series as the storyline of Shrek, initially being put off by its appearance before slowly warming up to it. And I do have to say, that's how things are starting to go for me. Appearances aside, it's still the ultimate driving machine, right? Well, unfortunately, that really wasn't the case new, and it's really not the case used. Before 2002, BMW cars were never really that techy. It was all about the driving experience, and controls inside were designed to take away as little from that driving experience as possible. That all changed with this thing called iDrive. Come say hello.
Never before did anyone need to study the owner's manual of a BMW to use its basic functions, starting with starting it. In 2002, people had a hard time with this silly new key without a key, which required you to shove it into this little plastic hole until you heard a little plastic click and some beeping, and then you put your foot on the brake pedal and then crunch this little plastic start button to get things going. Bong. Weird keys are pretty common today, but this was one of the first back then. Meanwhile, during the same time period, Mercedes and even Toyota with their Prius had figured out how to use a much simpler and more advanced keyless go system. This setup in the BMW is just technology for the sake of technology, and it's dumb.
Further examples of this include the seat adjustment controls, which at first glance make zero sense, as well as the gear selector, which was the first salvo of a barrage of confusing shifters.
Of course, I saved the best for last with this iDrive system. Now, I'm not going to say how difficult this system is, rather, I'm just going to show you how many buttons I have to push just to change the radio station. It's crazy. First, I need to accept this little legal waiver saying I shouldn't use this thing while I'm driving.
Then I have to dismiss all the faults my car has, which are numerous, then select the control menu and tabs with a series of turns and taps with the iDrive interface. Maybe BMW wants you to sit through all these horrible radio commercials?
Although it's nice that it gives so much information, as these cars age and the faults are nearly constant, it's incredibly annoying that you can't even drive a mile down the road without it beeping, bonging, screaming at you that your car's about to kill you. And this leads to why this car is far from the ultimate driving machine now that it's over 10 years old. This engine has not just one fatal flaw built in. Speaking of, it thinks that it has a flat tire, but it doesn't have a flat tire. This engine has not just one fatal flaw built in, but two. It carried over the same timing chain guide failures of the older V8 engines and picked up a new trick, this time the valve seals. If any one of these items failed in my engine, the cost to repair would far exceed what I paid for it. I bought this one because this is the first time I've ever seen one at an auction that didn't have one of these two issues.
Another thing BMW can't seem to figure out, hood struts. Not hood struts, the hood struts were broken in this car, but what I really wanted to talk about were the cooling system bits. Their plastic turns into glass, causing things like the radiator neck to snap just by looking at it too hard. This has been a problem with BMW since the early 90s, and by the mid-2000s, it's still a huge problem.
The day prior to shooting this video, I came across this all-too-common sight, and had to stop and offer my condolences.
And no surprise, he was stranded by a broken radiator.
Mercifully, mine has none of these issues, but it does have some serious problems that will need the car wizard's attention. I've really enjoyed being his helper with the LS Swap project, and look forward to playing nurse on this new BMW project. So, let's give him a call and schedule a time to get this sucker in.
You called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
He didn't answer. Wizard?
What's going on?
Hey, I bought something.
What'd you get this time? Did you get a Maserati?
No. A 2005 BMW 745i.
That's quite a disappointment. Are you sure you're not kidding, Richard?
No, I'm not kidding.
No, you're not. You actually bought it.
Yes.
You know those have horrible troubles with valve seals, and they puff oil smoke out the back, and...
Oh, mine's fine. It's fine.
Oh, yours is fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I still don't know if that's a very wise idea, but I guess it's your money.
Okay, well, it's not really my money because I can save so much coming up and helping you. It has a few problems, but I think we can knock them out together.
Oh, you're gonna come up and help me work on it?
Yeah.
Well, I think you did pretty good on the Porsche. I think I can handle this one, though. I don't think you need to take time out of your day to do that.
Really?
I'm pretty sure I can handle it. The last time you were up there, I spent half an hour cleaning up after you. I picked up all the tools and the mess and the oil and antifreeze on the floor, and so I think that the kitty time is over. I think I can handle it.
My BMW is doing its own remix of the Pina Colada song. Just another day in paradise.
But despite my car's litany of issues, I can't help but feel smug about owning a car this luxurious with this much technology for less than 5% of its original MSRP. It's interesting as you can understand why someone would have paid $75,000 for this thing new, while at the same time totally getting why these things depreciate to the point of being nearly worthless after a decade.
So what do you do with a car that nobody wants? Well, I guess I could either give it away or I could make it into something that people actually want. And I have a few ideas to get that done. Stay tuned.
It's amazing this thing still has its old flip phone. I wonder if I can still one-hand it. Oh yeah, that's a skill you'll just never lose. I wonder if this thing has snake. And if you want to know more about my BMW purchase, click that link below and read my column on autotrader.com/oversteer. Hello, Doug! Yes, I did it this time. You don't have to beat me for a change. Okay, bye!